Artie Lange Show. Ace Frehley here, legendary guitarist from Kiss, and he's going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame coming up next week. And
This week,
Thursday coming up. And John, I know you had a couple of questions.
Yeah, well, all the bad blood that's going on out there. How do you respond to? Do you want a chance to respond to Paul Stanley saying you wasted your talent, that you could have been so much more?
I'm appalled.
Yeah.
I mean, Paul and Gene have been bad-mouthing me for years, ever since I left the group in the 80s. And, they, talked about my drug use, my alcoholism, and, my destructive behavior. And, it was pretty much true, but, now, 7.5 years sober, they can't talk about that anymore. They can't call me a drunk or a drug addict. So now they're like grasping at straws.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
Well, I think
it makes them look silly.
Yeah, the thing that
and
he's
by
saying.
the way, they should lighten up a little bit. You did a pretty incredible thing. I know how hard that is to do. How about a pat on the back going, hey, I'm glad you're still here and you're all right,
Through all that, I mean, yeah, you had substance abuse problems, but you still were kind of you created the template for what a rock and roll guitarist should be at that point in time. Like, all these guitarists now wanted to be you when they were growing up, which I think says a lot.
A lot, yeah.
But do you feel like you've gotten better now? Like, during your 7.5 years sober, do you feel like your guitar playing is improved?
I'm playing better. I'm singing better. I'm healthy. I get up. I wake up. I remember what I did the night before.
I hear you.
It's a beautiful thing.
Right.
But
Yeah, it aggravates me that they would still keep busting your chops like that. They got nothing better to do. They're trying to validate the current lineup. You got two guys dressed up in my makeup and Peter Criss. Yeah, that's what it is.
And they're cranky because, every day somebody says to them, you should get Ace back. He was the backbone of the band. Right. And they're pissed off.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about the Peter Criss relationship, too, because he was the first guy to leave the band, and there was some, bad... the situation there was they're saying that you said he should go out. You're saying, I was the only voice voting to keep him in there.
They're saying that I said he should go out?
Well, yeah, they're saying it was a unanimous vote. All three guys.
You know why it was a unanimous vote? Because it was 2 against 1, and they said we're gonna win anyway because you'll be outvoted. So I said, okay, I guess I vote. I wanted to give him another shot. I wanted to put him in a rehab, and
Yeah.
Those guys don't even acknowledge the fact that alcoholism and drug addiction is a disease.
Yeah.
They're ignorant.
They have no sympathy for it.
But
absolutely no tolerance. Zero tolerance.
You wanted to give him a chance, and you were. The story is you waited around after that meeting, and you were like, man, I wish I could have done something, that sort of thing. What was your relationship with him like after that? I
remained friends with Peter. I moved up to Connecticut, and he had a house about 20 minutes away, and we used to hang out and shoot pool and go fishing, and his wife was good friends with mine. I mean, we've always been friends, you know.
So that's good.
How's he doing today? Doing good?
Peter's okay, yeah. We actually jammed with Peter when was it? Help me out. I did Hard Rock in the fall.
Recently?
Yeah. It was Ed Trunk's 30th anniversary party. And me and Peter got up at the Hard Rock and jammed with some guys, and we did a couple of Kiss songs, Rock and Roll Night, and it was great. He can still do it.
So now you mentioned you're going to be jamming at the end of the Rock and Roll induction ceremony Thursday. You're going to do one tune. That's a surprise. No one thought you were going to do anything.
Well, I got
a Highway to Hell.
Yeah, I got a call from.
Tom Morello.
From
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the Machine.
Who's the guy who's inducting you guys?
I was taking my fiance to the doctor, and I was waiting in the waiting room, and I get a call from Tom. He goes, "Hey, Ace." He goes, "You want to jam at the end?" I said, "Sure."
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jam. I don't know if anybody else is. I haven't heard. I don't care.
And it's Highway to Hell.
Yeah.
AC/DC.
I really wanted to perform New York Groove. Here we are in New York.
Oh, right.
That was my big hit, and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame said, no, you can't do New York Groove.
Didn't they take that for Entourage? Like, that was a big a big song for Entourage?
That's a big song for a lot of things. You hear that all over the place.
Yeah.
That's a great tone. So there's no surprises. No makeup's going to come out anywhere. It's one tone.
I'm not too upset. I'd have to shave off my little
beard,
goatee. But I would have. You would
have done it.
I would have done anything for the fans. 40 years we've been together. We've had support from these Kiss fans who are the most fantastic fans. And those guys wouldn't give them 10 minutes.
Think about
with
that.
the original lineup. I mean,
you're right. Why not really bend
10
over?
minutes.
That's a good point. Bend over backwards because Kiss fans are hardcore, man.
Totally.
They really are, and they still are from the beginning. And they would have loved to have seen that. That's a good point.
I got the impression that Gene Simmons was saying he wanted to give it a chance, and he wanted you guys to play together. I saw something where he said, even if you get remarried, you still recognize your first wife and you respect them, and
it sounds like
still
he's
a
not
big
doing
part
that.
of your life. I thought that was leaning towards you guys all getting back together and
I
playing
think it's
at this
more
thing.
Paul.
Yeah.
Paul pretty much is running the group. Gene's busy doing his TV show and all his other projects and his business deals here and merchandising deals and licensing deals. And Paul's pretty much, producing the records and calling a lot of the shots these days.
Yep. That's the
But,
impression
it
I
is
get.
what it is.
We're going to take another quick break and back and finish up with the great Ace Frehley. And again, the new record is called
Space Invader.
Space Invader.
June 24th.
June 24th. Check that out.
E1 Entertainment.
Back after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Ace Frehley's here from Kiss, going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So, what does that really mean to you, Ace? Is it really that a really big deal for you, the Hall of Fame thing?
I'm real excited about it. Even with all the controversy in the press, I think, we're going to put all our differences aside and get up there and, say our little. It was originally 3 minutes, now they said we could only talk 2 minutes.
Is that true? I mean, do you have something prepared? Or are you just going to wing it?
They emailed me last week and said they're going to go, we'd like to see what your speech is so we can throw it on a teleprompter. I can't even read a teleprompter.
But that's not a rock and roll.
Tell anybody what the hell I'm going to say.
That's not rock and roll, man. Just let it go, right?
I'm going to wing it.
Yeah, wing it. Why not?
Throw a few jokes out there, thank a few people, and it'll be over.
Who do you have to thank? I mean, in your head, there's some people like, well, first of all, your mom probably for the ride to the audition. That'll be good. Yeah. The broad you banged that day.
Yeah, I don't even remember her name.
But I mean, are there certain people that you like really almost sentimental about it? You don't, it's like.
There's a big guy that doesn't get enough attention and recognition is Sean Delaney. He was our first road manager, but he was the guy responsible for a lot of that choreography.
Oh yeah, okay.
He was Bill O'Coin's gay lover.
Okay.
And he was the guy, when we were practicing for a show, he'd come up with ideas.
He made it happen.
We did all that great choreography and,
Yeah.
He never gets, he doesn't get enough recognition. I'm going to name a few people that maybe, haven't been brought up over the years. I'm not going to give it away now, but.
No, I hear you. No, I think it's about time. You guys have been eligible for way too long, and Tom Morello is going to induct you guys. Is he a guy that you know pretty well, or?
I've met Tom several times over the years, but he was the one that really lobbied hard. We could have been inducted 15 years ago.
Right.
The rule is after 25 years, so they waited an extra 15 years to induct us.
Yeah.
But they were getting a lot of pressure. Last year when we got inducted, people say, hey, it's about time.
We'll talk about the word fame.
Overdue.
I mean, what's more famous than you guys? I mean, and you guys have anthems that you wrote.
We were trying to tell them that, but Tom lobbied really hard, and Tom's, largely responsible for getting us in, among other people that,
Rage
helped
Against
vote
the
us in.
Machine. Yeah. Is he a guy who's like work that you know pretty much, or you just
I've met Tom a couple of times on tour, and he's a great guitar player. I thought Rage Against the Machine is a great band.
Yeah.
And
he's got a lot of respect for you as a guitarist. I mean, everyone does.
Yeah.
Which
I've been around longer than a lot of guys.
Well, you were just talking about these guitars. Now, what were we talking about here?
Oh, he's amazing. I mean, he is the guy that everyone kind of points to, and they make these guitars up for you that are based on your original guitars, and it's got to be an awesome
all those
experience.
guitars, I customized those over the years. You
design guitars?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started changing the pickups, and changing the pickup rings, and making everything cream. And
well, listen, we might come
beautiful.
check you out that night. We got to take off. But Space Invaders, June 24th. And,
E1 Entertainment.
E1 Entertainment, and check out Kiss going into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Ace Frehley, you're the man, brother. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much for having me on.
Legend.
John,
Back after
thank
this.
you.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.